obviously, congrats on the film. We'll start by talking about your character, Sadie. So, talk to me about her and how she sort of fits into the grand scheme of things in the film.
Okay, so Sadie is John Morgan's wife. Very strong character. The role was written for me by Adam Stephen Kelly. I've known him for years, and obviously Jonathan as well. So being my husband, so they kind of wanted the character to be a bit bigger, have a bigger part, and just be stronger. Like, you know, I'm with this sort of alpha male, and he kind of needs it back as well. You know, he needs somebody strong, and you know, they have a daughter who I have a really good relationship with, and I just think that Sadie isn't the sort of normal archetypical sort of gangster's wife just sitting there filing her nails in the background. I mean, come on, this film, she does everything, doesn't she? She's cooking a big dinner party, she's stabbing people, she's punching them, she's sticking up for her husband and her daughter till the bitter end. And I think she's really, really ballsy in this. So it was a great role for me to do.
And did you have input into the writing of the character with Adam? Because you didn't have to. So you couldn't
No.
say, "Oh, what would be great if she did this?" No, so you literally said, "Okay, I'll leave it to you guys." You
I mean, because Jonathan, I mean, he knows what I like or what I like to do, or, you know, I mean, I've done karate for years. I'm like, any fight scene, you know, guys, I'm there. Yeah. You know, so anything to do with any sort of punching or kicking or anything, I'll be, you know, up for that. So they knew that, but we had to be really careful. You know, obviously we shot this in the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was very difficult to do any of those sort of scenes because of the contact.
So I was going to touch on that in a bit, but as soon as you mentioned it, so the pandemic, it was shot, I think it was September time, so we came out of...
Well, originally we were meant to be shooting in March,
right.
And then it all got shut down literally the week that we were shooting. Right. It was like calling everybody, oh my God, it's off because we're in lockdown. Okay. So we were good to go in the March. So then we were just waiting, you know, when are the hotels going to be open? When can we get a location? Yeah. Then every location that we had, you know, had cancelled because then they said, oh, you know, they were concerned because we needed an apartment, obviously, you know, for all the torturing and stuff to go on. And they sort of cancelled everything and said no because of illegal raves and we're not, you know, there's too many people in, you know, the apartment and stuff. So in the end, we filmed where we did. You know, look, I look at the screen, I sort of think, that could have been a bit, you know, the location sucked a bit, but we did what we did at the time. We filmed through the pandemic and literally kind of chased the tears when we were filming because we had this sort of floating scene that still had to be filmed. And every time we wanted to film it, we went into lockdown. Yeah. So we were kind of where we were in London and then it was like, no, we're locked down, we can't film in the bar. So then we went to our friend's restaurant in Eastbourne, who has a bar in the basement, and said, you can use that. And literally, I think it was 2 days later, Eastbourne went into lockdown.
Wow.
So we got that one scene. But it was literally, we were on, you know, the fly of our seat. We were just literally going from place to place and, you know, having your makeup done, then putting a mask on. Then taking it off and then lipstick being up your cheek, and you know it's really difficult, you know.
But also kind of exciting because that's kind of guerrilla filmmaking. It's kind of like, you know, this is how it used to be. I mean, I presume, you know, this is, you know, how low budget filmmaking. Yeah,
I mean, it is. But you would have liked to have more contact with people.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we couldn't really practice anything, you know, any of the fight scenes or anything because, you know, we're trying to keep our distance. I mean, you know, even when we were like being tortured, we were all kind of a bit far apart, you know, because obviously with Billy's age and we had things that we had to, and my age, you know, we had to, you know, we're not in our 20s like some of the people in the film. We were all sort of an older cast. We had to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. So you this is your third feature, I think. You've done two before.
Yes.
You know, various different characters. They're all very, very different characters, obviously played by you. But you know, how do you sort of prepare? So I mean, I talked to Billy about this briefly, and so you obviously knew the character as you said it was written for you. So how do you sort of get into the bones of the character?
I don't. I mean, I just read the script and kind of turn up and do it. I mean, look, I've worked with people who, you know, they're like method actors and stuff, and they like stand there like blowing and puffing and screaming and flapping their arms for 20 minutes and getting into this role and stuff, and that's great. But I'm just not like that. I read the script and then I'm just kind of like on set, just waiting for the director to go action, and I'm there. I mean, it's, I don't know, that's how I do it.
It's kind of interesting because that's what Billy said. So, it's kind of, he's obviously comes from the same world. And my next question was, that flows quite nicely into my next question. So he's been in the business since the 60s. He's got a wealth of knowledge, a lot of experience, obviously. What does he, what advice does he give to you? What kind of thing did he bring to the set?
I mean, look, working with Billy is an honour. You learn from him just talking to him. It's so working with him. It's look, he teaches you sort of etiquette on set. Sort of not just to all kind of sit there talking about what you've had to eat, and we're sort of people that were quite private. Like when we're not filming, I kind of just like to be by myself somewhere. And he's very similar. We're not in the thick of it. Like, if there's a green room, I'm not in there. I don't like to be in the thick of everything. I just kind of take myself off and do my own thing. I think it's just really trying to just keep yourself like as healthy as you can on set, and, just not getting caught up in everything, because you can get caught up in a lot of stuff.
Definitely. So let's talk about Shogun then. So this is a company that, this is the first film. You've set this company up with Jonathan, obviously.
Yes.
Let's talk about the origins of the company. So where did it all sort of, where was it born? Where did the idea come from? And how did you get involved? Well,
yeah, I mean, we wanted to sort of start something up that was a bit different and new, because, we were together and we just wanted to start something fresh.
Yeah.
From grassroots sort of up. And Jonathan came up with a name. It was funny because we were sort of bouncing names off, to one another and stuff. And it was all on sort of WhatsApp. I was like, what about this? What about that? What about this? And he was like this, no, yes, no. And I said, I had text Shotgun Films. And he went, brilliant, Shogun, excellent, that's the one. I was like, no, I said Shotgun. He went, no, Shogun. So that's how it was born, because, he loves, anything to do with the Japanese sort of form. So, yeah, Shogun was born through that.
And what was it like working with him? His experience in the industry spans many years. He's got wealth of knowledge, dozens of film credits, but he's also your husband. So what's it kind of like working as a couple? I mean, I've been in this industry for nearly 20 years myself, and from a different standpoint, obviously. But what's it like? I mean, it's tense. I mean, it's not an easy business to navigate through.
Yeah, I know. See, this is what Jonathan and myself get on really, 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 really well. I mean, probably too well. I mean, people expect us to be fighting about it and stuff, but we work really well together. If I can take criticism from him, I will take it, because he knows, and he's always right. So I will listen to him. It's when you take criticism from someone who doesn't really know what they're doing or something, then you sort of can not really feel that it's helping you.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm in awe of him, and he's in awe of me. It just works so well.
Excellent.
And it's not really working when I'm with him. It's sort of, we're just together all the time, and we just want to be together all the time anyway. So
yeah, absolutely, it's just life, isn't it?
It is. We've done so much in the lockdown. We've utilised every single moment we've had in just reading lots of different scripts, like getting everything prepared for like shooting.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot on our slate this year. I mean, another 4 movies this year, hopefully, if we can get them all done. Time's running out.
Yeah, exactly. We'll come on to that actually, because there's already one that's sort of partly shot, I think, in the States. Renegades.
Yes.
Is already sort of halfway through, or from what I understand. You've got a part in that, I presume.
Yes, I do.
I think I've read that online. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I play a detective in it, which is like my dream role. I love that sort of, that sort of Helen Mirren prime suspect sort of thing. Yeah, so I'm playing a detective in it. It's about some sort of ex-special forces guys who one of the team gets murdered, and then they all get together to take revenge. So it's a kind of a revenge film, but with ex-SAS type people. It's really, really good.
And when does that sort of kick off in your hopes?
May, June.
Okay.
May, June, yeah.
Excellent.
We have one before that, which is more of it's a juvenile film. It's a really, really good script actually, and it's based on a book called Knifer, which is written by Ronnie Thompson, who directed the Hatton Garden job.
Yeah.
He goes under the name of Ronnie Thompson, but it's Tom Beaton, his name. And it's an excellent script. So hopefully we're doing that sort of May. We're shooting that May.
And the fourth film? So that's 2.
I don't know if I can talk about the other 2 yet, okay. But yeah.
I'll ask you.
Yeah, ask Jonathan.
Excellent. So, and obviously go back to Nemesis. So, if you could sum it up in one sort of line, how would you say? How would you describe the film, and who would enjoy it?
Okay, well, it's morally ambiguous. That's our word for it, because there are no good guys in it. There are no good guys. It's a home invasion movie with gangsters, and if you like British gangster films, you will love this film because it has everything in it.
Fantastic. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Everyone round here's got a tall tale to tell about the old gangsters. I've heard them all. The blood, the guts, the glory. To us.
The city we love the most.
In these old stories you used here, I don't suppose anyone ever mentioned John Morgan, did they?
It's personal.
I just want people to know who and what you really are.
An Englishman's home is his castle. Your defences are gone, your drawbridge is down. You've been taken over, and you're queen.
Hell must be empty. That's all the devils are here. Sometimes in life, if you want to catch the bad guy, you have to become the bad guy.
How about that for a happy family?